we're doing a couple things right now, which is why we look the way we look, like we're really tired or something.
We are tired. We do every night.
We're working on an album here in Elgin. There's a really great studio called Roswell Leeds. It's for what you pay. It's an unbelievable studio. It's very, very good. And I don't know if y'all are familiar with a band called This Train or not, but they're from here in Elgin. We just got done with maybe the second or third tour that we've done with them. They're very popular nationally, but a lot of times people from their hometown don't are familiar with them. They have a studio here. We're working on that, but we're also working on the concert that we're doing this fall. So we wanted to try some of those songs out. I mean, we're going to use y'all as guinea pigs. I hope you don't mind. And it feels very. I have to say that it's. Quite moving to be here. And to hear y'all sing, and you sing so badly. And after spending years and years doing studio work where everyone is so uptight about everything, it's just, I grew up in the church in Indiana. I grew up, I had Christian parents, and they never made us go to church because I always loved to go to church because growing up, that was about the only place in Indiana where men actually sing. And I grew up on a farm, and I heard men cuss a lot, and I heard men fight, and I heard all that kind of thing. But church was a place where men sang, and they sang badly, and that was another thing that I loved about it was they weren't ashamed of how bad they were, and I've always felt like church is the one place in the world where we should be able to go and not be ashamed. Because if the other people had it together, they wouldn't need to be there either. We're all kind of here because we need each other. And that you would allow us to be a part of this really wonderful gathering is quite an honor for us. And we deeply appreciate y'all's hospitality and this whole thing. I'm going to do a song now that kind of changed the course of my life. A lot of people ask me how I got into Christian music, and my standard answer is that in a former life I must have beat up a lot of musicians, and I'm being punished now. Because I never intended to be a Christian musician. I'm a reluctant musician. I wanted to be a jock, but I don't have any athletic skill at all. And I never really meant to be a Christian. I've just always been very unsuccessful at sinning. It's never worked out for me like it works out for people in movies and stuff. So I decided at some point you just give in. You get tired of fighting with God, and from the outside you decide to give in and fight with Him from the inside. And that's kind of how I was converted, I think. And but this song, for years I worked in a retreat ministry called Zion Ministries, and we were just struggling along, and I lived at the third floor of a house in Cincinnati because there was about 10 guys that lived in this house, and depending on how much money you had to pay for rent, you got the lower floors because they were heated better. And I had so little money, I was in the attic with one other guy, and we had to sleep together for the 2 years that I lived there because he had an electric blanket, and I woke him up one night, my teeth were chattering so loud. And he said, why don't you just sleep with me, that way I can get some sleep and you can't too. And for years, I think it was really tough for my parents because they thought that I was going to, they didn't think that I was making the smartest choice in the world by doing what I was doing, but I really believed in it. And so my uncle finally loaned me $1,000 to make a demo with. And we recorded this song on that demo, and a copy of it got in the hands of Amy Grant, and she decided to record it. And when she recorded it, it made so much money that it just changed everything. I'm still kind of recuperating. She did do it wrong, There was this long middle section that I really liked because it was all taken out of the scriptures. And so, as a sort of attempt to redeem myself, I decided to re-record it and do it the way that I had originally written it, because in the Christian music industry, you just make so many compromises that over the course of the years you realize that you not only compromise on your artistic integrity, but in many ways you compromise your own faith. And at the end of it all, you only even have 30 silver pieces to show for what you've done. So we're as corrupt as Judas and not nearly as economically minded as he is. So this is that song that probably is the reason that you all are here tonight.
You can put on here.
Someone is dying to use under the madding crowd. She once and the land that shapes the sea. And I do not know yet what I'm made of, or all I may someday be. And it's the very tools of his trade. It is love that makes us love, and the cross that makes us save. No, 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 don't. And of all of the stupid things I've ever said, would be the worst, maybe the best, but those are the bread.